I'm Kerensa Peterson, and I'm the Standardized Patient Program Director for the Center for Simulated Patient Care at the University of California, Riverside School of Medicine. I think that the Women in Science events are really important, and important to me specifically because I think it's important that we take a moment to celebrate the accomplishments of women. And even though I'm sure none of us wholly define ourselves as women, that we have lots of identities that we have and experiences that we've had that make us who we are. It's a great time to take a moment to reflect on where we've been, where we're at this moment, and where we're hoping to go in the future. So I've really struggled with thinking about challenging the status quo in my field. And I think partly that's because I think about how we challenge the status quo every day. Every day in life, every day at work. I think of myself as someone who is always thinking about continuously improving and thinking about how we can make things better. And not just for me, but really for our students and for the work that we do and the communities that I know we're going to affect in the future, meaning our future patients and the people that we're going to continue to serve. I think that when we think about who we are and what we want to accomplish through our mission here at UCR, at the School of Medicine, I often reflect on those moments when things have been hard and we've had struggles to move through, but that we've been able to call people together and move through those things together and do that with that singular goal of making this place a better place for our patients. I think I feel underestimated from my gender, but also I think from being someone who's often seen as a non-clinician working in medicine and in medical education. I think sometimes I have been seen as someone who doesn't know or doesn't understand. And I think it's an important reminder for us all to keep in mind that our individual experiences are only our individual truths, and that those more general truths that are applicable to lots of people really happen when we open our hearts and our minds to other people, and we are willing to step into someone else's shoes or see things from a different perspective. And so we never know what somebody can bring to the table or what they're going to offer us unless we really open ourselves up to the possibility that we can learn something from them. I try hard to stay open to learning regularly, every day. And I feel like most days when I'm at work, if I haven't said at some point, "Oh, I learned something new today," I've maybe not had a great day. I think one of the truths about women in science and medicine that people really need to be aware of is how much we're starting to shift the culture of medicine in a positive way. I think several years ago, I was attending a conference in Kansas City and heard a lecturer who was an MD talking about how our human simulations, and particularly how board exams that involved people, human simulated patients, had really started to move in the direction of assigning more value to empathy in those exams. And when I talked about this lecture with other colleagues at the time, we really all started to reflect on the changes that were happening in medicine. There were more women entering medical school at that point in time than men. And that shift had happened already at that point, just 2 or 3 years earlier. And we were talking about the need for patients to be recognized, actively listened to, have participation and shared decision-making in their care. And all of that happens through empathy. And I really do believe that a lot of these cultural shifts have started to happen because more empathy givers, and traditionally women have been empathy givers and have been supportive of those spaces where empathy can be involved, particularly in medicine, have been part of that shift towards really thinking about how we serve the healing of our patients through communication and empathy. And I think that's just one of the ways that I've seen that come to fruition. So I think if I were to look back and give advice to myself, I would probably not change a whole lot. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had, for the many careers I've had, not just in medical education, but in other forms of simulation, in education, in legal simulations, and all of my work as a teaching artist and a theater artist. I think all of those things, all of the experiences that I've had have brought me to this place and have prepared me for this place that I'm in now. So I think I would tell my younger self, enjoy it. I think I would remind my younger self that things are sometimes hard and we face struggle no matter where we are and no matter what we do. But the struggle and the hard work is often what makes success really satisfying and worth it. And I also think that I would remind my younger self that feelings are important, they're valuable, and that we just have to learn how to deal with those feelings, even in science and especially in medicine, because they're the things that keep us human and remind us of the humanity that we're serving in these positions. I think one of the things that I hope will be different for the next generation of women in science and medicine is that we continue to think about the whole person. And while I certainly believe that it is important for us to celebrate who we are in some specific roles, I also think it's really important to recognize that it's not only one thing that makes us who we are. And when we recognize that all of those things are important and all of our experiences bring us to a place where we are shaped into the person that we are, that we have this opportunity to be open to other people, to their experiences, to be more tolerant and open to listening to others, and being able to understand that our experience is not the only experience, and certainly not the only experience of value. So I hope that as more people are coming into this field, that they're able to continue to reach outside of themselves so that they can really experience all of the humans and all of the people that they are coming into contact with so that they can keep their own humanity as well. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to think about these questions and think about these things, reflect on my own role. I don't know if you can see this, but I made this whole little diagram for myself because I know that one of the ways that we connect to anything, whether it's science, evidence, medicine, it's through stories and it's through people. And I'm grateful that here at UCR, and specifically at the School of Medicine, we take moments to really think about including lots of people's stories from lots of different experiences and backgrounds, and celebrating those individual accomplishments and those individual stories, but also thinking about how they are then relatable to each of us. And what are the things that make us similar and what are the things that make us different? And that both of those things are really valuable. And I've had a lot of great conversations with colleagues, even just talking about this interview and what this would be like and what did I want to talk about, or what did I want to say, or what was the message for today. And I think that whole process is just so valuable.